semua, welcome again to Sihat Beyond the Clinic. Our next episode is actually very close to our hearts. Beyond survival, living, healing and holding on together. So, today we're going to speak about cancer. What happens after someone is diagnosed with cancer? How does life go on selepas tu? Okay, so it is not about the diagnosis, it is not about the treatment, it is about what often gets overlooked. Okay, apa yang kita selalu miss. Sebab semua orang bila cakap pasal cancer, alamak, saya nak cakap pasal ubat, kos lah, kena pergi hospital lah. So, they don't speak about what happens in survivorship of cancer. Okay, so in fact, for many, the real struggle begins dekat time bila dia nak masuk survivorship. Okay, because dia ada uncertainty. Dia tak tahu what will happen next. Will I get it back or is it over? They reach that gap. Okay, so today we ask, what does it really mean to survive? Okay, and who do we support? How do we support each other beyond the hospital walls? What happened next selepas discharge dekat hospital? So joining me today are three very different but connected experts. Okay, so we've got Dr. Ame, of course, the medical director for the Sihat Beyond the Clinic podcast. We've got Dr. Ruta, our editorial director, and we've got a very special guest in our studio today, Puan Mahani Kassim. She's the president of one of the largest cancer support groups in Malaysia, Pink Unity, and she's also a breast cancer stage 2 triple negative aggressive. Yeah, survivor. So, orang paling kuat dalam studio hari ni is Puan Mahani Kassim. Thank you for being here. Yeah. So, let's start with a simple question. When we say someone is a cancer survivor, what does it actually mean?
So survivorship doesn't begin when treatment ends. It actually begins when someone is diagnosed with cancer and it continues for life. But here's what people don't always see. Survivorship is not just about being alive. Yeah. There is a lot of other components to it, which is living with uncertainty, managing the side effects, rebuilding your identity, and often all these things are actually done silently.
And clinically, we see this every day in the hospital. Patient finish treatment, they go home, everybody celebrates, survive. But then suddenly the support system disappears. The follow-up is not there, or sometimes no more frequent doctor visits, no more reassurances. But then what if we ask ourselves, what if it comes back?
Yeah. So Puan Mahani, you've lived through this. We can only talk, but she has lived through it. Yeah. So what was the hardest part? Not during treatment, but after.
Yeah, but getting back to what they say in your first question, survivorship. To us at Pink Unity, we always tell new survivors, because when we say they are new survivors, they will say, oh no, I'm still going through treatment. So for us, we say, once you are diagnosed and agree to go through proper treatment, then you are a survivor. So because, a lot of people refuse treatment until it's a bit too late. So survivorship starts when you accept that you have cancer and you go for treatment. And in Malaysia, we are blessed. Our medical treatment for survivors for cancer, it's very good, be it public or a private sector. But like your question, what happened after you finish your surgery, your chemo and your radiotherapy? During that period, a lot of people will come and visit you and say, poor you, what can we do for you? And then once you finish treatment, your hair start growing, you start living your life like a normal person. People sort of, I won't say disappear, but do not focus on you anymore. It's okay. Actually, as a survivor, we do not ask for sympathy. That's not during treatment or after treatment.
Yeah.
What we need is empathy.
Absolutely.
For people to understand living life with cancer, it's not a full stop after you finish your treatment. It's ongoing thing for the rest of your life. Because statistically speaking, the number of people getting cancer, 1 in 8, 1 in 13 for different cancer, it's okay. Probability is low. But once you have cancer, the probability of recurrence, it's higher than a person who do not have cancer.
Yes.
That is the probability. But the worry is also more.
Yeah.
When you never had cancer, You don't even think it's going to be me. But once you have cancer, you worry. And also the side effect of chemo. You might have chemo brain, the tingling effect, all the side effect that lingers on. So after the treatment, after the doctors do not see you every other week and so on, you will feel alone. You will feel that, who do I talk to now? So that's where the actual support is needed. Family who loves you also, who took time off to care for you while you're going through treatment, will start going on with their life, which they should.
Yeah.
They should. And you want to go on with your life, but with support. So that is the problem. After the treatment is over, you feel alone.
Yeah.
You feel fearful because during treatment, you don't think about recurrence
Yeah.
because you're doing the
Yeah.
treatment. Once it's over, or you are now in remission, okay, but then you worry.
Yeah.
And the more you read, the more you worry. So that is the problem of after treatment where you truly, truly need mental and emotional support.
I think, in a way, I can connect to what you're saying, because the second someone is diagnosed with any illness per se, especially if it's a chronic diagnosis, the first thing they would do is, oh God, let me get through this. Let this be over soon and let me come out of it safe and sound. So that would be the focus. So at that point, they are not lonely. They are actually very strong. They go through it. But after they have done the battle and they have come out of it, then the actual challenge begins. The fear, the constant fear. So even when they have light symptoms that might remind them of what happened earlier, it
Yep.
causes anxiety. So this is not only affecting the patients per se, the survivors, but it also affects the other cohort of cancer, which is the caregivers who goes through the same process with the survivors. So what about caregivers?
I think caregivers, they have their own set of burden, They can be the emotional support, physical support.
Yeah.
Sometimes they make decisions for the home and they keep everything together.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they can be burnt out, overwhelmed. But where do they find support?
Yeah.
And also, if we take a step back and we look at these caregivers, right, they are actually going through a silent stress. Meaning, of course, they wouldn't want to show it to the person that they're
Yeah.
giving support because, a cancer survivor is already going through a lot. But the emotional stress that this puts on the caregivers will really affect the patient outcome. That is what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of us only focus on the cancer survivor, but we don't really have, measures for the caregivers. And also, if caregivers are exhausted, then patients will also suffer the outcome. So that's why I think not only cancer survivor support, but caregiver support is also very needed.
So this brings us to something very powerful, support groups. Yeah, so Puan Mahani, you are a leader of one very prominent support group. Why is this type of support group so important?
Okay, this type of support group is important first to connect to the previous question because then the responsibility on the shoulder of the caregivers can be lifted, can be passed on to other people. Because, when you don't walk in the same type of shoes, you don't really understand. And that's why the caregivers sometimes suffer. They want to help their mother, their wife, their sisters who are suffering, but they don't know to say the right word because the cancer survivor, she or he might be a bit irritated when the answer that she wants to hear is not given. But it's not the fault of caregivers. So support group come into the picture because you are surrounded by people who go through the same thing you go through. So if you as a cancer survivor can tell them, I don't like chemo because it makes me this and that, they can tell you, I went through it too. The effect could be different. So you feel that, these people understand me. So cancer support group is vital for the survivors, not for herself, but for the sanity of the support that she had home. Because me personally, when I first went to Pink Unity, my daughter who's my primary caregiver, was there with me. The first session when we went out, she said, "Ma, I feel my shoulder is lighter." Because and then the caregiver will see, oh my God, my mother, my wife, my sister, they look better. Because when you sit with people who understand you, it's so much comforting. That's the right word. A cancer survivor needs someone who can comfort them with the same knowledge and the same experience that they went through. That's why support group is vital. In fact, I hope all hospitals will have networking with any cancer support group. It doesn't have to be one specific support group. Any support group have connection, so when your patient comes in and you know they are depressed, they are down, put them in touch with this support group, because you as a doctor, you are good at taking care of their medical needs. But their mental and emotional needs, they need somebody who went through the same journey.
So the support group makes you not feel alone.
Yeah.
The support group make you feel that you are with people who are in the same boat.
So-
You are not cruising on your own. You're cruising with a party boat.
Yeah.
Everybody in the same specific boat with the same needs, the same fear, the same understanding.
So when your emotional well-being is taken care of, your quality of life increases. You want to go
Yes.
for treatment.
Definitely.
Would you say it's not something like nice to have? It's something that's part of the whole package.
It's
of all
not
these
sunat, it's wajib.
Yeah.
things. Right.
We need to get that, because in Malaysia, even from experience, me myself, I was thinking that why would I need a support group? I thought I was intelligent enough. I got really good support from my husband, my children, my family, my friends, my colleague. I don't need all these things. I was forced to go. Thank God for that. And then when I was there, I realized, oh, I thought I'm okay, but I was faking it. A lot of survivors, mostly women, mothers, sisters, wife, we focus on the family first.
Yeah.
So if I don't appear strong,
Yeah.
my caregiver will be weak. But without realizing, your caregivers are not stupid.
Yeah.
Because you are faking it, they have to fake it too. So everybody is playing the faking game, which make you suffer more. You are crying alone in front of everybody. I'm fine, don't worry about me. But then when you're alone, for the Muslim ketika semayang, you will be crying. And your caregiver will be doing the same thing without you realizing it. So caregivers, a care support group for cancer survivor, especially, in fact, for anything that we go through, mental health,
Yeah.
abuse, or whatever, we need support group for you to be with the people who go through the same thing. It's wajib.
Yeah, I actually resonated to what you said, because recently I came across this group of women. One of them was diagnosed to have cancer again after being in remission for a few years, and that person was very scared to go through the next process, which was restarting everything all over again from diagnosis to up to treatment. And she was actually supported by Pink Unity. So she came back to the National Cancer Society of Malaysia. She went through her mammograms with Pink Unity's support, and she was re-diagnosed and she went for treatment, and thank God she's doing well today.
Yes.
Yeah. So when we speak about support groups per se, each support group is unique in their own way. It's either disease based or specialty based, or it's just a random group of people coming together sharing their experiences. So what makes one truly effective?
Okay, as you say, there's so many support groups. And for us, we don't look at support groups as competitor. They complement one another. We do complement one another. And even for our members at Pink Unity, we tell them, if you feel that specific needs that you want has in another support group, join. You can join as many. Wajib satu, sunat banyak. Because the wonderful thing is that each support group are created with different objective and mission. So each one will help patient in different ways. Like certain support group, they help financially. Certain support group, they give you certain platform. You want to do this or that or that. Whereas our support group, we are blessed because we are directly under National Cancer Society Malaysia. So we don't have overhead. You see, we don't have overhead. Whatever sponsorship that we get, 100% goes back to the members. Okay, we are not saying it's not good to have to join a support group where you have overhead. They need it. We are lucky because we have a parent. Our parents is NCSM. They pay for everything, the utilities, the room for us, certain programs that we want them to pay. So whatever we get, we can cater to our members, and whatever the members want, we do. Because NCSM gives us the free hand to 100% do things as needed by the members, not by the sponsors, not by government or whatever. That one is NCSM. As a support group, we check with our members, and we are based on 4 pillars, which is PINK, pink. We do peer support. That is the most important thing. But we don't only do peer support. In there, they need other things. So members might need inner strength. So we give them things that they need for inner strength, be it religiously or just knowledge. And then we do networking. NCSM always offer the doors for us to do networking with so many companies, corporation, individuals. And we also do networking with other cancer support group. As I said earlier, we complement each other. And then we are also blessed. NCSM will always put us into networking with outside, internationally. So networking is very important because sometimes our members, who mostly are B40, they need income. So we will be put together with company that might need it. And last but not least is knowledge. Knowledge is power, so we give our members whatever knowledge they need.
Absolutely. So to summarize, it's safe space, consistency, and guidance. Okay. So most importantly, it must be a support group where people feel heard. It's not they don't go there to fix their problems, but they want to feel heard. So Puan Mahani, before we talk about society and awareness, it is important that we hear your personal story a little bit. What happened to you?
Well, I guess doctors and hospital love me so much. Since the age of 18, I had cyst in my ovary. I had to remove it. And then it went on and on. But my family, we don't have cancer. No, not in the family tree. Unfortunately, I started history for the family. Because I had to have hysterectomy when I was 38, so the doctor put me on HRT. But because the doctor did their part. They look at my medical history and my family tree, so the probability of getting breast cancer because of HIV, it's very low, but it's not zero. Unfortunately, so every year they do mammogram for me since the age of 39. So every year it was fine until I was 43. They found tumor. Remove it, it was benign. That happened 3 times, benign. The 4th time, it was cancerous. So I was shocked. That's another thing. You can feel whatever you want. Some are shocked, some are angry, some in denial. It's okay, feel whatever you want and then move on. But I was blessed because the doctors were so good. They found it's aggressive, quickly remove it, the lymph node and everything, then do the necessary thing. So to me, I will be a liar if I said I was not scared. As usual, being illiterate in cancer, the first thing when you hear cancer equals to death. So you start crying not because you are scared of the treatment, you are scared of dying. When people die without cancer too, your time will
May
come.
I interject here a little bit? Can you share with us what was your professional background when you were diagnosed with cancer? Because if the stigma has affected her, then it doesn't miss anybody else in the society.
Yeah, when I got cancer, people thought that you are not able to do your work and everything. But I was blessed because I work in the government sector. So I could take the 2 years full paid leave. But during that 2 years, you try to recover and you recovered. But when you go back to work as a so-called boss or whatever, your staff have, I won't say less faith in you, but worry too much about you. When they see you walk fast and handle a meeting, is she okay? Can she do it? You know,
Patronizing.
patronizing. That is the right word. I was lucky because I was patronized, which is not good actually. But a lot of people will be put down. You can't do it. But you, when you do it, oh, you can do it. It's irritating because you want to be normal.
Yeah.
But you will never be normal
Yeah.
after cancer. People will treat you better than they would before, which you don't want.
Sympathy again.
Exactly. Or a lot of patients, they will ask to resign.
Yeah.
Myself, I didn't. I went to work for 8 months. But my husband and my children say, Ma, it's enough. And I can see in the office, I become indirectly, no matter how much they love you, you are a burden to you. Because certain days you have to go for your doctor's appointment and everything. So you can't be the person you were before. There are changes, but people do not know how to deal with that change. So that's another issue. Thank you, Dr. Vicky, for bringing it up. Cancer survivors not only have to go through their medical issues, but they have to go through what people perceive them.
Yeah.
Not even talking about, some culture will say it's your karma. Kalau dalam Islam, orang kata tulah, you mesti banyak dosa. You see, that sort of thing. So that's why a lot of cancer survivors who join us but refuse to have their face plastered in our
Yeah.
social media, because people
Stigma.
are not supposed to know they have cancer. They want to have cancer in silence, which is very sad.
So when they suffer in silence kan, then they don't go to seek treatment, stigma kan, they internalize stress. Lepas tu the recovery becomes a bit harder from then on lah.
Yeah, that's why we have members who was on the verge of committing suicide. One member, for 7 years after her cancer, she never leave home. She never dress up. She doesn't want to do anything. But both of them are lucky. Their children, or they were lucky, they saw our social media. They called us. After one session, that was 2 years ago, Mother's Day, the two of them came for our Mother's Day celebration. After that, the lady who wanted to commit suicide, a year after joining us, she went to Sri Lanka to do charity work,
Giving back.
giving back.
Amazing.
And the other lady who for 7 years never go out, she, every time we have function, her husband have to buy her new wardrobe, because she said, for 7 years I never bought anything. And the husband was willing. The husband was willing to pay rather than see her suffer at home.
That's powerful. I think being a member or a leader of a support group, it's entirely voluntary. Number one, you have to be ready to come out, because you're going to be facing things on your own medically and psychosocially. You will be facing your own impacts. On top of that, you also have to go in to help others now. So I think this is a job very close to God and very far away from dosa, if I can put it that way.
Inshallah.
Yeah, so it reminds us that survivorship is not about anyone going through this alone. Nobody should go through this alone, be it the patient, be it the caregivers. Yeah. So as we close, I would like each of you to share one message to our listeners out there. Anyone from any chronic illnesses, rare diseases, or cancer per se. This is for you.
Surviving cancer is not the end of your story. It's actually the beginning of a new one. And I believe you don't have to go through this alone.
For me, I think surviving cancer is not just about removing the disease, but it's restoring the person behind it.
Yep.
And that requires support beyond medicine, like
Yep.
support group,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, to me, surviving cancer can be a beautiful new journey with people who understand you and go through the same thing. So my message is please, please, please join any support group to help you start a new chapter of your life.
So, cancer may change your life, but it shouldn't take away your sense of belonging. Okay, this is Sihat Beyond the Clinic. If you have any questions to Puan Mahani, feel free to drop a comment below the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe if this episode has touched your heart. Thank you.